Good morning, self-lovers. It's Katie here, your self-love coach and the founder of the School of Self.Love. Really beautiful to be with you today for today's love note. And I think what this video is going to be about is the subject of power. But as I'm discovering more and more when I'm creating these videos for you, I don't pre-write them or pre-script them. I kind of get a bit of a feel for what I want to share with you, and I just speak to you and I kind of just see what comes out. So let's see, because often I get guidance while I'm chatting to you, and often I actually just get my own awarenesses that I can share with you as I'm chatting to you. I don't know if you're like me, but I tend to, I verbally process a lot. So believe it or not, you're helping me right now as I'm creating these tips and tools and teachings for you. I'm actually helping myself, which is really quite a rather beautiful loop, isn't it? That as I'm of service to you, I'm actually able to serve myself. So really kind of nice. So thank you. Today, I really would like to very vulnerably open my heart, wear it on my sleeve, and share an experience I've just had, which I hope will demonstrate to you the power and the importance of emotional expression, and how it's important because it is the way that our spirit communicates to us, whether we are on track in our life or not. Our emotions can do that. Our emotions are also a reflection. Sorry, I've got cat hair on my face. Emotions are also a reflection of what we've been thinking. You know, we tend to feel our thinking. So if we're kind of running belief systems that aren't serving us, we're going to be feeling that. And these feelings, whether they're a signpost, a communication piece from our spirit, whether they're outdated belief systems that are really sabotaging us, whatever it is, it needs to be cleared from our body. It has to. If we don't clear that emotion, if we keep kind of pretending that it's not there and doing whatever we do, whatever our coping mechanisms are to not feel the uncomfortable feelings, whether that's eating chocolate or online shopping or focusing all of your attention on other people and not yourself, like whatever your thing is, the more we do that, the more we repress the emotions and push them down, we're actually making ourselves sick. That's often the case. And usually we're going to just explode in some kind of childish rage when we least expect it, and it will be hugely embarrassing. So, best thing is to deal with your emotions as and when they come up, and choose to do it in a very conscious, a very self-loving, and very safe way. When we do that as well, as a little aside, and this is probably what I'm going to share with you now, as we allow ourselves to connect with and to honor and to express our emotions, guidance often comes through for us. Awarenesses are created as we move through the emotion and literally unblock it from our body. We're allowing space, we're allowing guidance to come into that space. Awarenesses that we need. Remember, you're not just human, you are a spiritual being, and you're here to learn, to evolve and grow. Life is throwing you opportunities all day, every day, to learn and grow from. Nothing is happening to you, it's happening for you. And you get to choose whether you use every piece of information life throws you as an opportunity for growth or an opportunity to go into victim and beat up on yourself. So, I find that through emotional expression, I'm given guidance, I'm given awarenesses and understanding on what this situation is about for me. And ultimately, it liberates me to another level of knowing myself, to another level of loving myself, to self-compassion, and to understanding my reason for being here. Whatever that piece is that needs to be healed, I know my soul came here to experience the learning. And when I've had it, there's something in me, and it's my spirit, knows. She just knows. It's like a gratitude of thank you. Thank you for paying attention to those emotions. Thank you for doing the human work to pass through it, to release it, so that we can have the spiritual understanding of why we're here, why I'm here, right? So I had an experience recently where, I won't bore you with all the details, suffice to say, I felt very ganged up upon. I felt And by the way, whether this is true or not doesn't matter. This is how I felt. I felt ganged up upon. I felt a massive loss of power. I felt out of my depth. I felt betrayed. I felt not seen. I felt not heard. I was pissed off. I was so angry. I couldn't believe that these people had done what they'd done. Now, there was a little bit of victim there, totally. There was a lot of anger. And I'm actually really grateful that on this particular day I was really hormonal. It was that time of the month. And the hormones really allowed me to feel the emotion that I was feeling. It actually had me cry. It's really unusual. You know, I finished a difficult phone conversation and I came off the call and I cried. Those that know me well know that I enjoy a good cry. But when I'm angry or confronted with a situation like this was, very unusual for me to cry. But it was really nice to be able to go straight there. Because often, you know, anger is often a secondary emotion. Usually the primary emotion that's going on is some level of pain and vulnerability or fear. And that was my truth. So I was angry, really angry to start with, but not for very long actually before thankfully I was feeling hormonal and I was able to move into just feeling really sad and really disappointed and really hurt. And so I let myself cry. And I cried and I cried. Now, thankfully, there was no one around. It was a really safe time and place for me to do this. That's really key, by the way. When you're allowing yourself to experience emotional expression, it has to be a really safe space. Okay, so do honor yourself, love yourself enough to create safe space when you do need to go and do some emotional processing. So I had a really big cry. And then the crying went back into the anger. I really went into the root of the anger. And I went for it. You know, I really went for it. I yelled and I screamed. You know, I got my pillow and I screamed into my pillow and I said every filthy word under the sun that I wish I could have said to these people. And I stomped on the floor and I bashed my hands on the bed. I screamed some more. Then I cried with deep sadness. And then I got angry again and screamed some more. This went on for probably a good half an hour. A lot of emotion came out of me. I didn't make myself wrong for it. In fact, every time I gave myself more compassion as I was going through it, I understood myself. I was there for me. I was my own best friend. And there was a voice in me saying, yes, it's okay that you feel like this. It doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter whether you look childish or stupid or disgusting with the snot flying everywhere. It doesn't matter. This is how you feel. This is the truth of you. Be it, express it, feel it. And every time I gave myself that compassion, I went even deeper into the emotion and deeper and deeper. And as painful an experience as it was, because really what was going on, you know, life had given me an opportunity, pretty surface level, not particularly interesting, really quite unimportant actually, piece that I wasn't so much angry and upset about that. It's what it hooked into. It's what it reminded me of from my childhood and experiences growing up. That's really what was going on. And my body knew it. My body remembered it. And emotionally, I was being called to heal years of pieces and to heal generations of it. And I reached a point where I understood, you know, at the beginning of this video, I was explaining that through emotional expression, sometimes, well, a lot of the times, pretty much all the time in my experience, we're creating space for then the awareness to come in. And the awareness that dropped in so powerfully for me was, you've lost your power. And so I started saying out loud the affirmation, I am powerful. And it was a whimper, it was so quiet. You're so powerful. I said, I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. And then I cried some more because I didn't feel powerful. It felt like a lie. I did it again. I am powerful. I am powerful. I cried some more, and through the tears, something miraculous happened. And again, miracles happen when we allow ourselves to honor the truth of who we are and lay ourselves bare, fully vulnerable, fully available to whatever healing we're supposed to receive. And we can't possibly always know what that is. And I vulnerably cried, and the guidance that came in was, you have lost your power time and time again, and it wasn't just this lifetime. Now, some of you might be skeptical to this, and that's okay, but I invite you to hear me when I tell you I knew in the depths of my being that I know I have experienced a loss of power again and again and again over many, many, many human lifetimes. I have. I can't prove it to you. I know it. This is my own personal experience. And then the guidance came in that I didn't just have my power taken away by men. And by the way, the experience that was coming to me in this life, just recently, was the feeling of loss of power to the masculine, to actual men, and to the system, which is like a masculine power. I felt disempowered to the system and to some actual men. And I realized that I'd lost my power again and again and again to men over many lifetimes, and to women, and that hurt even more. I'd lost my power to women too, and I'd been persecuted. I can't tell you how. I don't have actual memories. I'm quite inspired to go and have a past life regression and see what I can find out, actually. But I was called to heal on all those levels. And so I knew what I know to do. And there's a really fantastic mantra that I use. I was taught it many, many years ago. I've heard lots of different variations of this. And the way I knew to heal was to call upon a healing across all time, across all space, across all of my human experiences. And I commanded that I be healed of any pain around losing my power to men or women across all time, across all space, across all human life experiences that I've had. And I called this out again and again and again. And each time I remembered in my body an experience. I couldn't see the experience, but my body remembered it. And it really hurt. And I called out the mantra again to be healed across all time and space and human experiences of any experience of having lost my power to society, to institution, to the system, to men, to women, to family, to communities, to whomever I felt a loss of power, to whomever hurt me. And I cried and I got angry and I cried and I got angry, and I persisted with the mantra. And by the end, I was able to sit, and with a very deep, very powerful voice, I was able to claim back my power, that I am powerful, and that this experience that I had been given was the most beautiful opportunity for growth, the most beautiful opportunity for me to heal such an important piece on so many levels, across so many lifetimes. What a miraculous gift. This might not mean anything to you. I'm sharing it with you because what I want to demonstrate is what I experienced for me was a miracle. What I experienced was the power of loving myself enough to respond to an opportunity life had given me and to honor how it made me feel. And through honoring it and just going through the emotions and not knowing where it was leading me, I was making myself available to receive the healing I needed to receive. And I don't know of a better gift I could give myself. It wasn't fun, it wasn't particularly pleasant, but it was empowering. And I'm sitting with it now. I took my power back. And by the way, power in this sense, it's not any kind of controlling, manipulative power. We all have our own stories around what power is. That might be for another video. But this is around just being in my power, being able to freely be authentically who I am, to speak my truth with love. You know, it's a very loving power. So I hope that something I've shared with you from today's video is helpful to you. Mostly, I hope it helps you to connect with the truth of who you are and to honor how you feel, and do yourself the honor and service of expressing those feelings and opening yourself up to being guided to where that's meant to take you, what information you're supposed to get, what awarenesses you're meant to create, and what healing you're meant for. Okay, this is like self-love in action. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.